Well, I hope you enjoyed your little walk around the town. While you've been out playing, I've been really very busy here, and I'm now able to tell you what we're going to cook. But one of the secrets of French cooking is that menus are planned after the shopping. You don't plan a menu and then go shopping because you might not find the ingredients you want and you're forced to make a compromise which results in a bad dish. So if you're drifting past like I was this morning and you saw good mussels or good langoustines, you buy them, then you plan a menu. So today's menu, the one we've planned, is to use these langoustine, and I'm going to cook them in a piquante tomato sauce. Now the tomato sauce, which is going to go with them, is a fairly complicated thing. You need to use a liquidizer, and you need to use sugar and chopped shallots and stuff like that. It's a detailed recipe that you can get from any cookery book, or particularly mine, Floyd on Fish, when it comes out fairly soon. And I've cheated a bit because I got Jacques-Yves' chef to already make my tomato sauce for me. Clive, this is quite important. If you can come in close to see, that's a very smooth, freshly made tomato sauce. Just make that, use a cookery book, use a recipe book, have some of that ready. Okay, our other ingredients, Clive, this is a bit tricky, you've got to wander around a bit, are going to be some finely chopped shallots and some finely chopped parsley. Okay, Jacques-Yves' been very busy doing me some garlic, which he's taken the little coarse bit out of the middle, and we shall chop that up. Not too finely, really, just to crush it to get the flavour from it. Okay, we need equally some olive oil. Doesn't matter what mark, but it must be olive oil, incidentally. Corn oil will spoil this dish. And a little bit of hot pepper sauce or something to really G up the flavour of it. Okay, you've got all the ingredients. I've had a lovely morning so far shopping. I'm desperate to get on with some cooking. So if you can, if you need to take a break, Clive, for a second or whatever, I'm going to the stove, follow from you can, and I'll start cooking this wonderful dish. Which is, first of all, into a large sauté pan, a good dollop of olive oil. Then we're going to chuck in our little shallots. Note as usual, and as always, I have the pan hot already. Always start with a hot pan. Otherwise things will boil and not fry, and we want these to fry. Then in go the langoustine, like that. Sorry to cut across you. Little mixture of salt and pepper. There's a point of honour at stake here because I have got a cooked supper for these rather brilliant chefs, and I want this to be the best langoustine I've ever made, and I'm going to jolly well ensure that it is. Then, let's be a bit extravagant, if I can find it. Flambé au cognac. That really gives it the je ne sais quoi française. It is so essential to make these superb dishes. Let that reduce a little, okay? And then take care not to burn yourself. In with the tomato sauce. You've got this unctuous, beautiful pink sauce bubbling away there. Let's just taste it. Always tasting. Coming on extremely well so far. Bit of parsley in, and look how the colour is. I know we always mention colour on Floyd on Fish, but the colour is the essence of it. If it looks good, it's probably going to taste good. Now, just a few dashes of Tabasco. I'm using Tabasco. You could use any kind of piquancy that you fancy, and you stir those round. Very important thing with langoustine, because we are cooking for gastronomes today, not gastronauts. You're the gastronauts, the mythical, unidentified frying object people. These are the real ones. So I'm undercooking these langoustine. They're going to be slightly undercooked and delicious, okay? We'll pull them off the stove now and eat them in a minute. Real French ale, extraordinary, isn't it? And by God, I need it. Jacques-Yves peering over my shoulders made me really nervous. So I've sent him off to lay the table, actually. But I've got to press on. I've got 15 minutes left to get this mussel dish on the road, which he's going to judge, presumably, as equally as harshly as he's been looking at me langoustine. If I could just recap on what we were doing. When I was in the market this morning, I couldn't resist this beautiful fresh spinach. Stay where you are, Clive, I'll bring it over to you. And look how tender and young it is compared to the stuff we get in England. No big thick stalks, no brown edges. Couldn't resist it. I know it makes a super gratin dish. Mussels widely available. Couldn't help buying those. And you saw me earlier, I just cooked them off, took them out of their shells. In fact, I got Jacques-Yves to do that. about anything he's done today, except make me nervous. So they're already just lightly steamed and taken out of their shells. Then the treat, the really good treat about being here in France was these little clams, which cost no money, so I bought a couple of dozen of those, and I steamed those on the... that's right, something breaking up over there. Can I have an assistant? Producer, do something sensible. Take that off, it's going to break. And I couldn't resist buying these clams, steamed them open on an open tray on top of a hot oven. So I've got those, which I'm very pleased about. And then also earlier on this morning, you saw me make my bechamel. Well, everybody knows how to make a white sauce. That's what it is. Butter and flour and milk. Except I'm going to make it even richer in a moment by adding some egg yolk and some double cream. I cook my spinach in the normal way, which I'll bring over to you, Clive. It's a bit hot and difficult in here, isn't it? And that's been cooked right down with no liquid at all. So now, if you'll come with me, I'm going to whack this in the oven and give it the gun. Because I want to get back to being Floyd on fish and not frightened of these Frenchmen. So, come with me. Come in, come in. We haven't got a lot of time. Hold on that. We've got the producer working. This is absolutely amazing. I hope it hasn't burnt your fingers, darling. Has it burnt your fingers? He's actually in pain, holding a very hot dish. Clive, can you come in close? Clams in there. Don't worry about me at all. Just watch the processes here. The clams, the mussels, the spinach, a little bit of the bechamel. Okay, then that's on a fairly hot heat. We stir that in. It looks a bit strange at the moment, green and going cream. Now, stay where you are because double cream into that to make it really extravagantly rich. Then, the coup de grace, as we could say, is some egg yolk stirred in. Now, if I can have my producer back with the dish. Stay with it, Clive. Don't leave us now. We've only got 10 minutes before the real chef comes in, and the pudding is going to hit the fan, as they say. I think that's how they say. Pudding is going to hit the fan. Tip this into a nice oven-proof dish. Doesn't that look delicious? Actually, stir it around so the clams and the mussels and the sauce are all equally distributed. In fact, I haven't got it too equally distributed there, so I just stir it around a little bit. And then I've got some what we call fromage râpé, grated Gruyere this is, but you could use cheddar as long as it was very fine, but try to stay with the authentic flavours. Okay, that is the dish, and now it has to go into the oven for about 5 or 10 minutes, a very hot oven, mark you, or under the grill for 4 or 5 minutes so it browns slightly. I'll do that straight away, because time is pressing on. Jacques-Yves is going to be back in a moment. He's laid the table. His assistant chef is coming, his wife's going to be there. This is the first time, honestly, that I have cooked in France for French chefs in the way I'm doing it now. Is it going to be a winner or a loser? We'll see in a moment.